Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ha, or Ha, Kwadash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutations to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm the Car Karab Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den camp of Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. And not today, I'll be coming out with another lesson. The title of this lesson is Truth Muzzlers, or Haters of the Truth. Because as you know, we have these different, well, we'll say a specific syndicate in particular platforms and different things of the sort like that. They muzzle the truth. They try to hide the truth. They don't want this to be put out. But the Most High's word is going to come forth, whether they want it to come forth or not. The men that he has set up have been commissioned to do this work, to put forth this work. In the face of adversity, in the face of persecution, prosecution, we're supposed to stand and we're supposed to tell our people. That's why the Lord put the men out there on the highways and the byways. And the Lord always prophesies. He raises up his prophets to prophesy against the kingdom before it falls. But again, the title of this lesson is Truth Muzzlers, or Haters of the Truth. Because that's just what it is. They don't want this to come out. So they use their various platforms to stop this, to try and stop this truth from coming out. But without further ado, let me get right into the scriptures. This is Amos chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 10. It says, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate. They abhor him that speaketh uprightly. So they hate him that rebuketh in the gate. The prophets that are going out to the highways and the byways, putting these videos up week in, week out, day in, day out, well, they're hated. Why? Because we rebuke in the gate. We stand out in the open places, in the chief places of concourse, and we do this work. We put forth this work, and we call out things that are wrong. We call for correction of our people, Yasha Allah. And 2/3 of our people, they also hate this word. Why? Because we rebuke them. We correct them according to the scriptures. And they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. These truth muzzlers, or these haters of the truth, they abhor us because we speak uprightly. We speak righteousness. We speak the truth. And they don't want to hear it. And they don't want others to hear it. So they bend over backwards and do all manner of things to stop this. But you cannot stop the hand of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. The Most High's will is supreme, period. Nothing is going to operate outside of his will. But again, Amos chapter 5 verse 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate. They abhor him that speaketh uprightly. They don't like it. That's why they try to muzzle the truth, censor it, cut it off, because they're haters of it. Verse 12, I'm jumping over to verse 12. It says, for I know manifold, for I know your manifold transgressions and your mighty sins. They afflict the just. They take a bribe and they turn aside the poor in the gate from their right. And the Most High is saying, I know your manifold transgressions. Manifold is the Most High knows your works, your bold works, and your mighty sins. They afflict the just. They afflict the upright by trying to come against this truth, by threatening with their laws and policies that really don't mean nothing, but you know, because blah, 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 whatever, useless laws, but they afflict the just. They take a bribe. You have all these different syndicates and platforms and stages, different things of the sort like that. They take bribes to censor this truth. They set things up so they could turn aside the poor in the gate from their right. They take things and they do things and they spend money just so they can get our people not to listen to the truth. Everything in their power to muzzle, to stop the truth. Why? Because they're haters of the truth. These various syndicates and sectors don't want this truth coming out. These collective mindsets and groups, they don't want this truth coming out. So they try to muzzle the truth. Because they're haters of the truth. So the Most High, he knows what's going on. He sees it. But continuing, let's go to Isaiah chapter 30. I'm going to start at verse 9. It says, "This is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord." Of course, you know, this is talking about 2/3 of our people, 2/3 of Yasha Allah. Because, you know, 2/3 of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they don't want to hear this truth either. They hate it too. And then rebellious children. And they're the ones who hate him that rebuke and negate, as well as a specific group of people also. They hate him that rebuketh and negate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. Well, this also can apply to these various groups. You know, they're rebellious, hard-headed, they won't listen. You know, they won't hear the law of the Lord. They won't do right. So in that, the only way they're going to do right is by force. But continuing, because that's another topic for another time. Verse 10, "Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits." And you know, right now, that's 2/3 of our people. Because even 2/3 of our people are truth muzzlers. They try to muzzle the truth. They try to cut off the truth because they're haters of the truth. They say to the seers, which were prophets, men of the Lord, see not, don't prophesy. Be quiet. You know, don't tell us the truth. Don't speak the truth. Don't blow the trumpet. Lie to us, because we want to hear things of deceit. Same thing go with these various collective mindsets. They want to hear the same exact thing. You know, the corporations own this. I would say the owners of this corporation here, called America, they want to hear that this place is going to continue and go on forever. That's just not true. It's in the scriptures. The Most High is going to stop this place from functioning. But continuing. Verse 11. It says, "Get ye out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us." And by their actions, by the trying to stop this from coming out, they're saying this because 2/3 of our people are right in this same boat. They want to say, get out of the way, stop preaching the truth. Don't tell us what's right and what's wrong. You know, cause the Holy One from Israel to cease from us. And you know, this ruling syndicate, they don't want to hear this. They definitely don't want to hear it, because they know the time is almost up. It's almost over. Last hoorah. So this syndicate has an agenda. And they're going to use everything in their power to push forth their agenda. But also at the same time, they don't want to hear this truth, because they know the Holy One of Israel is coming. They know it's over. So one of their main tactics is to try and muzzle the truth, because they're haters of the truth. Continuing, Jeremiah 23. And you know, this truth is offensive to a lot of people, a lot of different groups of believers and different things of the sort like that. This is Isaiah 23, and 29. It says, "Is not my word like as a fire, saith the Lord Yahweh, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock into pieces?" See, the Most High, he's asking the question. The truth is, yes, the Most High's word is like a hammer that breaketh the rock into pieces. It's like a fire that devours and burns things up. Because if you're not lining up with the truth, when this truth comes out, when these scriptures come out, it's going to devour you. It's going to break you like a hammer breaking a rock. You're going to crumble. You're going to be consumed because you don't line up with it. And if you are a hater of the truth, or you trying to muzzle the truth, you're going to very well be offended. And you're going to do things in your power to stop this from happening. You're going to call this truth hate speech. You're going to say this truth violates guidelines of different statutes, rules, and regulations. Most of the time without proof. But because it's offensive, and it's like a fire and like a hammer, this truth has been evil spoken of. This truth is treason in this world of lies at the moment. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. It says, "For the word of Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, is quick and powerful than any two-edged sword, sharper than Salaki, quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and a discerner of spirits, Salaki, and a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart." So the Most High's word is quick and powerful. It's going to cut down any and everything that's not lining up with it. It is sharper than any two-edged sword. It is sharper than any weapon and or device you can imagine or come up with. It pierces to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit. It hits you to your very being. It hits you to your very existence. And it's going to cut through the joints and marrow. It's going to cut through everything. And it's going to get down to the nitty gritty. It is the discerner of your thoughts and the intents of your heart. And when this truth comes out, you see right through people. You quickly see and find out if they are haters of the truth or lovers of the truth by these scriptures that come out. But the Most High's word is quick and powerful. It's going to cut down anything that's not right, that's not lining up, that's coming against it. You can't do nothing against Yahweh Yahushua. Period. You can't beat him. And the old saying goes, if you can't beat them, join them. And it is very wise and it is a very good thing to join Yahweh Yahushua, because that's a benefit of life, eternal, peace, happiness. But continuing. The Acts. This is my next chapter I'm going to, Salakia. Chapter 5. Start at verse 16. Because, you know, this was another example of the truth, of haters of the truth, and then those haters of the truth trying to muzzle or stop the truth from coming out. Verse 16, it says, "There came also a multitude out of the cities round about Jerusalem, bringing the sick folks and them that were vexed with unclean spirits." So, like, let me go back real quick. Well, this was Paul and the apostles. I just wanted to get there. I just had to go back so I can know. But again, and Paul and the apostles, they were doing miracles in Jerusalem. So people came, well, there was a multitude that came out of the cities round about Jerusalem, which were vexed with unclean spirits, and they healed everybody. They healed our people. They were doing the work of Yahweh Yahushua. But here you go with the haters of the truth. Verse 17. Then the high priest rose up, and all they that were with him, which is the sector of the Sadducees, and were filled with indignation. So these haters of the truth, or these truth muzzlers, or this certain sector or faction, were angry, were mad, they were filled with indignation, because the men of the Lord were doing the work. The men of the Lord were doing what they were called to do, which is heal the sick, heal our people, tell them that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. This is what Yahushua charged his 12 to do. But continue. Verse 17 again, the high priest rose up, and all they that were with him, which is the sect of the Sadducees, and were filled with indignation, and laid their hands on the apostles and put them in prison. They were filled with indignation, anger, mad, they was hating. So they put their hands on the apostles and throw them in prison. To what? To try and muzzle the truth, because they were haters of the truth. But this is what happened. Verse 19. They locked them guys up to stop them from preaching. Verse 19. But the angel of the Lord, Yahweh, by night opened the prison doors, Salakia, and brought them forth, and said, Go, stand, and speak in the temple to the people all the words of this life. So the Lord sent an angel to release those brothers out of prison, and then charged them and said, Go stand and speak. Go out. Go to the temple. To the people. Go to the people. All the words, and tell them all the words of this life. Speak this truth. See, you can't stop the Lord's word. Verse 21. And when they heard that, they entered into the temple early in the morning and taught. But the high priest came, and they that were with him, and called the council together, and all the senate of the children of Israel, and sent to the prison to have them brought. So the angel let those brothers out, and they went and continued doing the work. So the next day, you know, the truth muzzlers, or the haters of the truth, and all the council together, they sent to the prison to have them brought before them, you know, so they could hold a so-called, you know, council against them. But this is what happened when they found out that them brothers wasn't in there. But when the officers came and found them not in the prison, they returned and told. So when the officers went, they were like, "You brothers not in here." So they went back and told, you know, these Sadducees that, hey, they not in jail. They not in prison. They're not there. Verse 23, saying, the prison truly found we shut with all safety, and the keepers standing without before the doors. But when we had opened, we found no man within. They were saying, well, we made sure we locked it up real tight, and we had guards so that could nobody get out. So that if they were to try to get out, they would have been seen. But when we opened the door, we ain't found nobody in there. Verse 24, now when the high priest and the captain of the temple and the chief priests heard these things, they doubted of them whereunto this would grow. So they doubted. They were like, what? They basically thought the officers was lying. So they're like, what? No, how's somebody going to get out of prison, locked up with guards and everything, and how somebody going to just get out and nobody saw them? So they doubted that. They thought the officer was lying. but he wasn't. So, you know, they found out they didn't want this to get out. So they were like, okay, well, we're going to keep this on the wraps. But next verse. Then came one and told them, saying, behold, the men whom ye put in prison are standing in the temple and teaching the people. So he had one who like, them guys you locked up, or them guys you tried to stop from preaching the truth, they in the temple preaching to the people. They telling the people the good news. Verse 26, then with the captain with all the officers and brought them without violence, for they feared the people, lest they should have been stoned. So when they found out, they wanted to go and get them without violence. They didn't want to, you know, do like you know, these different forces out here would do. They didn't want to use force because they were scared that the people would rise up against them and stone them for mishandling the men of the Lord. But the Lord is going to protect his prophets. And his word, his truth is going to get out. You're not going to stop it. But continue. Verse 27, and when they had brought them, they sat them before the council. And the high priest asked him. So when they finally got to Paul and the apostles, they brought them and sat them before the council. Verse 28 saying, did we not straitly command you that you should not teach in this name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine and intend to bring this man's blood upon us. So basically, the council was like, we told you you couldn't preach this truth. We told you that you shouldn't come in the name of Yahweh Shai. And now you done filled all of Jerusalem with this truth and this doctrine. Do you intend to bring this man's blood upon us? They were talking about Yahweh Shai, because he had been crucified. Like, do you intend to bring this man's, do you intend to make us guilty? Make us worthy of punishment? Basically what he was asking. Then Peter, Salaki, I said Paul, Peter, correction. Peter and the apostles were doing the work. Just to make that correction for you know, it was then Peter and the apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God or Yahweh rather than men. So he was saying, man, we obey the Most High rather than men. So we're not going to stop speaking this truth because it's a violation of policies and ordinances. We are commissioned by Yahweh Shai to do this work. Period. This is our job. We ought to obey the Lord, the Most High Yahweh, rather than men. And we do that. So for all you truth muzzlers and haters of the truth, you're not going to stop this. You're not going to stop this. It will stop when the Lord allows the famine of the word to come. Then it will stop. But that's the Lord's doing. But until then, this word is going to come out. It's going to keep going. Isaiah 52. Chapter 52. Starting at verse 5. Now therefore I have said, Salakia, now therefore what have I here, saith the Lord Yahweh, that my people is taken away for naught. For they, Salakia, they that rule over them, make them to howl, saith the Lord Yahweh, and my name continually every day is blasphemed. So you know you have these, you have this sect. We're going to use that word, this sect, a ruling sect. You know, they have taken the Most High's people away for nothing, for naught. They think us to be nothing. And in that, our people are howling. They mourn. They are vexed with the foolishness that is going on in this place. And here in this place, the name of the Lord is continually blasphemed every day. The truth is blasphemed every day. This truth is hated. And you have agent provocateurs and ones that are set up to try to muzzle this truth. And when that don't work, they bring straight up haters of the truth to try to come against and contend against this truth. But you can't stop it. It don't go nowhere. This truth don't die, it multiplies. But again, now therefore, what have I here, saith the Lord Yahweh, that my people is taken away for naught, that rule over them. They that rule over them, Salakia, make them to howl, saith the Lord Yahweh, and my name continually, every day is blasphemed. So the name of the Lord is blasphemed on a regular basis, every day, continually. Verse 6, therefore my people shall know my name, therefore they shall know in that day that I am he that does speak. Behold, it is I. And how is that going to happen in this day and time? The Most High's word is going to come out through his prophets that he has set up. They're going to know, and there's a lot of people that know the name of Yahweh Yahushua, and they're going to know in that day that it is the Lord that speak. The people that believe, the men, women, and children that believe, and the elect that believe in and on Yahweh Yahushua, they know that these videos and the men of the Lord that go up, they know that is the voice of Yahweh Yahushua. They know it without a shadow of a doubt. And they know it's the Lord that speak. Continuing. It says, how beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace, that bringeth good tidings of good, that publisheth salvation, that saith unto Zion, thy God reigneth. So how beautiful is it? How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bringeth good tidings? That's a question. It is very beautiful. The Most High has set this up perfectly for his work to be done. Verse 8, thy watchmen shall lift up the voice. With the voice together shall they sing, for they shall see eye to eye when the Lord Yahweh shall bring again Zion. So who are the watchmen? The prophets that Yahweh Yahushua has set up. The watchmen shall lift up the voice. With the voice together shall they sing. The men of the Lord are going to preach this word around the four corners of the earth. Everybody's going to be on the same wavelength and speaking the same thing, speaking the truth of and in Yahweh Yahushua. There will be no muzzling of the truth within the true men of the Lord. There will be no haters of the truth within the men of the Lord that are serving Yahweh Yahushua in truth and sincerity and in humbleness, truth and spirit also. But when you're outside of that, you're going to try to muzzle the truth. You're going to try to come against the truth, and you're going to be a hater of the truth. You're going to be scoffing against men, scoffing against the doctrine, scoffing against the order or orders that come down from Yahweh Yahushua. You're going to have a problem with it. But within that elect, that 144 and that 1/3, all of them are going to be on the same wavelength. And when the Most High does this, we're going to see eye to eye. We're going to be in agreement. When the Lord is bringing forth Zion again, when we see the Lord coming, we're going to see him and we're going to be as he is. Just to represent, I forget the scripture. I can't call it off the top of my head right now, but I'll use it as a reference. We're going to see eye to eye. The men of the Lord that preach this truth in sincerity, you're going to see eye to eye. It's going to be about the truth. But continuing. Verse 9, break forth into joy. Sing together, ye waste places of Jerusalem. For the Lord Yahweh hath comforted his people. He hath redeemed Jerusalem. So break forth into joy. Be glad, be happy. Sing together, preach this word. Ye waste places of Jerusalem. Right now, our people, we not in our physical land right now. So right now, Jerusalem is, in this sense, is a people. I'm using it in this sense as a people. Break forth and sing. For the Most High has comforted his people, and he has redeemed his people. He's going to redeem us. But like it's being said, we still have to press towards the mark of the high calling. We have to bring forth this truth. But continuing, let's go to Sirach, chapter 4, verse 24. This is Sirach chapter 4, verse 24. It says, for by speech wisdom shall be known, and learning by the word of the tongue. See, for by speech wisdom shall be known. For by the man speaking this truth is the wisdom going to be known. Is what righteousness is going to be, is how righteousness and truth is going to be known. It says, and learning by the word of the tongue. How are people going to know if the Lord don't put his prophets out there to preach this word in truth? Not for filthy lucre's sake, not for glory, for vain glory. Again, for by speech wisdom shall be known, and learning by the word of the tongue. Our people are going to know this truth is going to be taught to our people by words, by hearing the men of the Lord speak, week in and week out on the highways and the byways, day in and day out with these videos. This is how this wisdom is going to be taught. This is how this truth is going to be taught. But you have a lot of people who try to muzzle the truth. You have a lot of people who hate the truth. But continuing. 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 1. It says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper for